Ready? Play.
Aryna Sabalenka beat Aryna Rybakina in somewhat more comfortable fashion than I think many thought. She was a double breakup, wasn't she, in the second set, but she lets one of those breaks slip. But anyway, straight sets win for her over Aryna Rybakina, and none of the roller coaster of emotions and trials and tribulations that were evident in their matches at the Australian Open final of 2023 and the Australian Open final of 2026, and also their Indian Wells final this year in particular. And of course, she's going to be in a final with Coco Gauff. I'd be curious to know your thoughts on that match as well. We'll look forward to that one right now. Let's have a quick look at their head-to-head. I think it might even be, is it 6-all? Their head-to-head, 6 each, I'm guessing, or just that seems to, yeah, it is 6 each. Now, before their French Open final, I predicted, not with a great deal of confidence, and I think the French Open final was the last time they played, I predicted a Sabalenka win, but I knew the danger. I knew the danger for Sabalenka, and it was longer rallies. We could see in the dynamic between these two that the longer the rally went on, the more likely Coco was to win the point. And we saw that manifest itself in the French Open final. It was a concern for Aryna and a real one, and that's how it panned out. Why did it happen in particular in the French Open final? Well, because Coco began to frustrate Aryna, and the wind was also getting to her, and she would pull the trigger, and it just wasn't working. She hit too many unforced errors in that third set. The good news for Aryna is that in slightly quicker conditions, tends to work out better for her. If we look at the head-to-head and the wins and the losses that Aryna has had, for example, Australian Open springs to mind in the beginning of, or was it 2024? Yeah, that semi-final, although that was a really close one. I think Coco was serving for the second set. Also quick-ish conditions, at least in terms of clay. The best conditions for that are in Madrid. And they played at the WTA finals indoors in Saudi Arabia as well. Pretty quick as well there. That was their most recent meeting, not the French Open final. So yeah, plus if there's a tie break in there, you would fancy Aryna Sabalenka. I mean, she's won the last 3 tie breaks between these two players have all gone the way of Sabalenka. We know about her tie break record dating back to the beginning of 2025. It's phenomenal. But Coco is playing the best tennis she has played since the French Open, I would say. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I think there was a line in the sand and a move on for her when she beat Elise Mertens in the Middle East, because that was a spell of her career where she was struggling at the beginning of this year and she wasn't probably getting some of the wins that she would otherwise expect, and probably even towards the end of last season as well. Didn't defend her title, of course, at the WTA finals. Didn't really come close to that either. And so, yeah, and probably didn't quite go as far in Australia as she would have hoped. But that Elise Mertens result and then the performance in that Middle East latter part of the swing there, plus the performances in Indian Wells and Miami now fill with a great deal of confidence for Coco going forward, particularly as we look towards the clay court swing, where I think we have now got 4 players. Because I still, for ego, I wouldn't write her off in terms of the clay. Absolutely not, despite some sticky moments in her form. I think we've got 4 players that could easily win the 4 big titles between them. Let's say Sabalenka retains Madrid, Coco wins Rome, Rybakina wins Stuttgart.
Und jetzt wird es jede Menge Fotos geben, meine Damen und Herren. Das wird eine Weile dauern, aber es gibt ja auch noch ein Doppelfinale. Wir warten noch auf die Information, wann dieses beginnt.
And Iga wins the French Open. I know Iga would probably be quite happy with that, and her fans would too. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me if we get something like that. That wouldn't surprise me if the 4 titles are shared. I also have chosen those titles in those locations specifically. I think Aryna's best tournament is Madrid, where she's a serial finalist and a serial winner. I think Coco performs better towards the end of the clay court swing, none more so at the French Open, but Rome, similar conditions. You've been to the French Open final. Your breakthrough, at least standout result at the beginning of your career, was on grass against Venus. You've been very solid on the hard courts. Is there a slam in particular that you go, I think that's, if I'm going to get one, the first one might come here, there, or where?
Well, I don't know. I mean, everyone, I'm like, I think this is the first one. So I don't know. I mean, obviously now going to the French, I do have a lot of confidence on the surface, but I'm not really thinking about that. I feel like, in the past I was, and it gave me some like defeats that I feel like I shouldn't have lost, maybe more so my head. So going in now, I mean, I feel like, everyone could be the one, but I think I have to just take it a match at a time and just feel it out and enjoy it. I think when you focus too much on the destination, you don't enjoy the journey there. So now I want to focus more on the journey, and if the destination gets there, that's great.
Iga Swiatek's best clay court tournament, without a shadow of a doubt, is the French Open. Although, Rome has been pretty successful for her too. And Rybakina, the only clay court tournament. Oh, no, she's won 2 of the clay court tournaments we've highlighted. Rome, hasn't she, in Stuttgart? But makes sense for me with Rybakina in Stuttgart, at least for now going forward. But that's a bit of a tangent. Let's come back to this clash. Coco Gauff, I said to you about her form this year and that line in the sand and turning point in that tight 3-setter she had against Elise Mertens. Well, her form in getting to the final, Cochoretto, she got some revenge there. And actually, the first set of this match, and the first set and a half even, I think she might even have been down a break in that second set. And Cochoretto was somebody who also beat her quite recently, so you thought, uh-oh. But she pulled through with that one. And then she also had a 3-set win over Alicia Parks, despite losing the first set. She also had 3-set wins over Castella and Bencic. Castella playing probably the best tennis of her career. And the performance and the level against Bencic was Coco Gauff, hard court tennis, top. Muchova, I think, is as much down to the head-to-head. Despite Muchova going up an early break, she then went on to lose 12 of the next 13 games. And it was kind of same old in terms of that matchup, in terms of the court guile and the move. Listen, one of the things that Muchova can do that can frustrate even the best players in the world, and I'm looking at you, Aryna Sabalenka, is moving her from side to side, pulling her forward, pushing her back. Doesn't bother Gauff in the slightest. And I think Gauff also feeds off the confidence from the previous 5 wins that she had over Carolina. And it was a straight sets win. I did think it would be closer. I did think potentially Mukova would get a set off Coco, but I still felt confident that Coco would win that and be in the final in Miami for the first time. As for Sabalenka, well, her path to the final has been much more routine, including that 6-4, 6-3 win that she had over Aryna Rybakina yesterday. And without dropping a set in getting to the final, because she's trying to defend her title in Miami. Now the question is, will she retain her title and take a 7-6 lead in the head-to-head? Yes, I think she will. I think there might be a tiebreak in there that goes in her favor. And I'm going to go for an Aryna Sabalenka win in 3 sets. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below.
Matchup in the final now, a couple days from now, between Aryna Sabalenka and Coco Gauff.
Coco Gauff.
Yeah, Isabel mentioned the head-to-head earlier, but it's 6-6 in between the two of them. Yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting. Sabalenka's been playing so well.
My name is Clara Towson, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
I am Francisca George, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Susan Leemans, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom. Yeah.
My name is Zainab Sammaz, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hey guys, my name is Sasha Vickery, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Harris, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Jan Faria, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Yes.
Take one. Well done.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Paolini, and I'm a friend of the show.
Wow, Jasmine, you got it in one time.
Ready. Play.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever time it is in the world, wherever you are tuning in from. If you're tuning in from Miami, if you're in the stadium, give me a wave. If you are in the stadium and you're tuning into Talking Tennis, well, I'm extremely flattered that you are tuning into us for your commentary whilst I've seen those points, Ozan, don't you worry. I've seen the electric tennis that Sabalenka's bringing, and now there's a double fault for the third point. And it's not the best of starts for Coco. The double fault ratio for her, she tends to hit 1 per service game. So we're probably looking at, if it goes 2 sets, then somewhere like double figures. If it goes 3, then obviously way beyond that. And she's just hit a first serve into the net here at love 40. So the worst possible start for Coco so far. That ball toss, by the way, it's so clear why she hit so many double faults. Anyway, she didn't hit double fault on that occasion. There's good depth here from Coco, although she's staying on the forehand. But now Aryna goes into the backhand. But actually, that's the thing. If you're going to go into the backhand of Coco, you're going to have to go in with incredible conviction, which Sabalenka had, but she hit the ball too hard and it went out. Wonderful that we've got over 80 of you tuning in right now on YouTube. Great to have so many of you on board. Please do hit that like button. And if you are new to the channel, hit subscribe. And if you hit subscribe, you're going to see that little subscriber count above my head tick over. Okay, good return here from Sabalenka. It's going to help her win the point because Gauff goes long. I think you could call that a forced error. You could call it unforced. I don't think it is just mental, no. I think the ball toss, Ozan, is not great. And the way that sometimes the second serve barely makes the net is not just mental. So I do think at times that there is that element, and perhaps when she's on a series of unforced errors, let's say she's on a series of double faults, then the 5th one and the 6th one and the 7th one often come in quick succession, because they do come in spades sometimes. But I do think that there is a technical element to it too. Sometimes she gets the ball. That second serve, that ball toss was just, it didn't happen on that particular one, but it was saying to me, oh dear, she's going to, and also, not only is the ball toss wrong, I can also tell you where it's going to go, where it's going to go wrong. And I thought it was going to be a double fault because it would go too long. And in the end, that second serve just hit the line. I do think that Coco takes a bit more risk on the second serve, and I think she gets the reward from that. I remember the match she had with Alex Ciala in the Middle East a few weeks ago, and I think she took big risks on the second serve, knowing how good the return was. Oh, look at that return from Coco, by the way. I love 15. So I think there's a lot of factors involved. Sabalenka, I think, if she gets something like 70% first serves in today, she'll win. But she can't afford to get it sort of below 60 because Coco will punish those second serves. And I don't think Sabalenka had the best serving day in the final in Indian Wells, but I think Rybakina let her off the hook in sets 2 and 3. And Sabalenka's going to miss that forehand, so love 30. So a pretty bad start for Coco. Could just about get better. Could be just about to get better. There we go. I'll get my English words out for you. Got 100 people watching on YouTube right now. Statistically, about 70 of you haven't subscribed. If you all hit subscribe, this number above my head will go crazy. Ace down the tee from Sabalenka. That was another thing. I think she barely hit an ace in the first couple of sets against Rybakina. It's not the most important stat. Hello, Ashley, from across the pond. So 15:30. Let me know your prediction, by the way, in the live chat. I've gone for a Sabalenka win. Ashley's just hoping it goes 3 sets. Drive volley here from Sabalenka's not bad. And Coco can't deal with it. So 30 all. Somebody's supporting Aryna. I'm guessing the dude is from Belarus because it says Aryna, Belarus. I didn't say what the third word was. Maybe it was something derogatory. I don't know. Ooh, that return fired at the feet of Sabalenka. That was something that she was struggling with in the Indian Wells final as well, was the returns being fired at her feet. But on that occasion, it went just beyond the baseline. So Sabalenka has a game point to consolidate the early break and go up 2 love. Yeah, but the head-to-head suggests it will be competitive. 6 each is the head-to-head. I'm not saying it's always super obvious, but the ones where Sabalenka wins, it's like, yep, that makes sense. And the ones where Coco wins, it's like, yep, that makes sense. If they play each other at Wimbledon, Sabalenka will be a warm, maybe even hot favorite. French Open, you'd probably lean Coco. Here, we'd lean Sabalenka. Indoor hard, especially quickish conditions like in Saudi Arabia, you would lean Aryna as well. Okay, 2 love. Sabalenka. Because Coco messes up that return. Indeed, an early consolidation. Mr. Ozan Kabayak, as he played centre-back. I get the I get the Ozan bit, and I got the he played centre-back bit. It's the bits in between. On the sort of neck wear there, is that the Turkish flag I see, Ozan? Is that the Turkish flag? Or maybe not. I just see that white line, and I just wasn't sure if it was a white line with a star. Anyway, I'll stop talking. 15 love here for Coco Gauff, as we see Gavin McMillan in and amongst her team. I think if Gauff doesn't get badly beaten in this final, I think we can look at this tournament as a huge tick for her. That's not to say she doesn't need to have big ambitions, and she could still win this match. I actually think Aryna needs the first set more than Coco, just because of some of the matches in the past and how they've gone in terms of, yeah, Coco just making Aryna pay, and she's slightly off it. Good forehand winner there from Coco Gauff. Don't say that very often. If this does go 3 sets, I might have to have dinner on camera, people. The weather for tomorrow, I have heard mixed reports about it. Or I say mixed reports. I've heard reports of not good weather. So the final tomorrow might yet be delayed. Backhand into the net. Coco holds for 2-1. Change of ends. Of course, there is you can tell a lot of the crowd are supporting Coco. I know Aryna gets a fair bit of support in Miami. She seems to have charmed the Brazilian faithful there with a few Portuguese expressions and words. And I know she sometimes gets that support. I think she often gets the neutrals support, but with obviously Coco being A, American and B, a Florida resident, that makes sense that she does get that support. For those of you just tuning in, do hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, also, please do hit subscribe. And if you haven't already done so, give us a follow on Instagram at Talking Tennis TT. Here is our Instagram page, people. Give us a follow there. I'll also share the link with you in the chat. Like so. So if you could give us a follow, we would very much appreciate it. You can also give us a follow on TikTok as well if you want. If TikTok is your bag, we're on TikTok too. TikTok too. Here we are. That's our TikTok page. I'm going to share that link with you as well. All right, we'll get back to the match now. Because Sabalenka's serving at 2-1. So that wide forehand return from Coco is pretty good. The forehand from Sabalenka is not good enough, in my opinion, and nor's the volley. And so it's love 15. Don't dislike the approach, but I don't like some of the execution on either of those two shots, particularly the forehand. Yes, Ozan, keep going with that one. Ozan, you're trying to match me, aren't you? You got all inspired by my feast or famine the other day. Backhand return here from Coco is going to go just long, I think. Yes, 15 all. She's going for it on the return, Coco, and I think it's the right thing to do. And she's going for the feet of Sabalenka. With Sabalenka's height, it sometimes is a little tricky for her to deal with those shots. She is, yeah, Matthew, to some extent. I think there have been French Open final is the one that really sticks out. But also perhaps the US Open final as well, where again, Coco came from a set down. I think both of the Grand Slam finals they've played have seen Coco come from a set down, right? And both big regrets, I think, for Sabalenka. Good forehand there from Aryna. Now she's going to go big on the backhand, but Coco can defend it. And you see, that's the thing. That is what Coco can do that so few other players against Aryna, in fact, probably no other player can do against Aryna, which is just make her hit another ball. So often, Sabalenka can hit through players. Coco is the only player who she struggles really to hit through. You know, Rybakina's not getting these back, for sure. Iga, who's one of the best defenders and movers on the tour, even she can't get them back. But Coco does. And also she gets them back sometimes with interest. Okay, 15-30. Still, let's remind ourselves it is a very good start thus far for Aryna. But it is dependent possibly on this next point because 2 break points here for Coco might well change the complexion of this match. 15-30. Sabalenka to serve. Where are you going to go with this serve? You are going down the tee. Forehand return from Coco is good. Forehand from Sabalenka is not bad either, and it's forced the error on the forehand side from Coco. 30 all. But are we going to get a game point now or a break point? This game, by the way, already feels huge. This game. You just imagine if Aryna gets to 3-1, that might well be enough. But we're back on serve, and would the momentum be with Coco? Maybe. I'll tell you in a minute, Matthew, because I've got a lot to say on that. I've got a lot to say on that. In fact, I might even have a video on that exact point. Have I got Badosa talking in the chat? Not sure. I used to have it, but not anymore, maybe. Okay, Sabalenka here dominating the point and wins it 40-30. I guess I could find it on YouTube, though. It's me talking to Badosa about exactly what you're talking about. Look at Ronaldo there. He's on the phone. He's a left-hander on the phone. I used to have it in as a saved video, but I haven't got it at the moment. But I could just try and download it. We'll see. Backhand here from Sabalenka. Oh, what a great backhand that is from Aryna Sabalenka. So we do indeed get to 3-1. I'll wait until the change of ends, and then we'll talk about that exact question, because I do like it, and it is something, as I said, I've spoken to Paolo Badosa about myself. So, Coco Gauff to serve, 1-3. Second serve as well here for Sabalenka to look at. Body serve there from Coco, really good. And Aryna can't deal with it, goes long. Yeah, I've got the video now of me and Badosa talking about that exact question, Matthew. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Matthew. So I was talking to Ozan about this earlier, about the double faults from Coco. I think there are 3 factors at play. I think occasionally, when you see that second serve go into the bottom of the net, that is a technical issue. You're not missing by that margin. When you see the ball toss, look there. There you go. That's exactly what I'm talking about, that double fault there. That's technical. That's not mental. When you see them come in a spate, when you see them come in pressure moments, then I'm more happy to lean towards the mental side of things. That's a good ball toss there, you see, that one that she just got the first serve in. It's not a good forehand, mind you. And so it is 15-30. I'm just laughing at your comment about he's there all the time. I mean, I think he's a Florida resident, right? Or Miami resident. Obviously, there's a big Brazilian community in Miami. And he's there every year. Backhand return here from Sabalenka into the backhand of Coco Gauff. That clips the net. Forehand here from Sabalenka is too good. 15-40. And, oh, yeah, the 3 factors are mental, technical, but also the third factor, which I don't think we do factor in, is that she does like to take risks on the second serve, particularly against stellar returners. And actually, I think it does work for her sometimes. And she just goes, you know what? I'm going to hit 10 double faults today. Now, look, you see, 15-40, second serve. This should end the set if Aryna wins this point. Just went over the net. But I think it clipped the net, actually. That's how it was how close it was to being a double fault. It actually clipped the net. 15-40, still a second serve here. Look again, you see? Look at that. How close it is to the line. Okay, backhand here into the backhand of Sabalenka, which is going to be sliced as she was going for some kind of drop shot there, which didn't work. 30-40. "18 minutes on the clock." I know I keep saying it, but this point is massive. Coco to serve. Down the tee, which is a good serve. Sabalenka, is that going to land in? Yes, it is. Oh, no, just landed out. And that's huge because there would have been a forehand where Coco would have had a lot of time. And I will come to that question in a moment. Because that would have been a great example. To see that ball land and see how Coco dealt with it would have been very interesting. Okay, good serve out wide. Coco should win the point from here and does. Game point for Coco Gauff. So I've got a video I want to play with, which is an exchange between Paula Badosa and I in a press conference in Madrid 3 years ago, just after Badosa beat Coco. It was a real beatdown as well. And what preceded it was that I had asked her a couple of days ago about her approach against Coco, but Badosa kept her cards close to the chest. But I'll play you the 1 minute video in a moment. Coco serves, just goes long. I don't like to see the back arch too far back. And see now that ball toss was too far in front of her. And probably not high enough. Look at that. You see how far she arches back. What a good return from Sabalenka. Now on the forehand of Aryna. Now on the backhand. It's going to be a really tricky smash for Aryna. And she does put it away. Deuce. We'll get to this Badosa moment in a moment. Maybe, Matthew. But I think she's got a margin at the moment that might see her over the line in the first set. And by which time, I don't think it'll be in the head anymore. If she wins the first set, then that can you don't need to worry about it, do you? And she still might win this game. Deuce. I think you're honing in a bit too much on the 2 slam finals because I agree there was a lot of mental elements to it, but there were other factors. And I think in terms of Sabalenka's mentality going forward, that win in Indian Wells was so important. I think it helped Sabalenka going into the... I don't think she's as relaxed against Rybakina in the Miami semi if she doesn't win that Indian Wells title. Second serve here for Sabalenka to look at. I feel like a double fault coming on. Let's see if I can guess if she double faults before she even strikes the ball. Let's see if that ball toss. No, I wasn't going to predict the double fault there. I thought the ball toss was decent. Now Sabalenka comes into the net for the drive volley, which actually I don't know if she hit that cleanly or if that was intentionally hit that shot, that short. Deuce. Eight-minute service game. Yeah, it's been a while. Didn't know it was that long. But I think it's an example of actually how closely matched these two players are. Oh, that backhand return, a bit lucky, and that forehand's going to miss. It's not quite an example of someone having a lot of time on their forehand because actually she adjusted herself. And she's a bit lucky there is Aryna with that net cord. But it is a forehand error all the same. Breakpoint number 3 for Aryna Sabalenka in this game. Again, if she wins this, the set's done. First serve misses. Second serve for Aryna Sabalenka to look at. Backhand return from her. It's going to go long. Deuce. Sabalenka has had to save break points already on her serve. So she knows it probably won't be an easy run to the finish line in this first set. And Sabalenka's not going to make clean contact with that return. And now we've got another game point for Coco Gauff to get to 3-2. We are going to play this Badosa interview, which is going to help shape my answer, Matthew, to your question about the Coco forehand. The context, though, is important in terms of me speaking to Paula a couple of days before and the fact that Paula beat her like, I'm going to say it was like 2 and love, something like that. have a quick look at the result, actually. Backhand return from Sabalenka goes into the net, and here we go. So, Madrid 2023. Badosa, yeah, so she'd just come off the court, or recently come off the court, having beaten Coco 3-0, 6-3, 6-love. And yeah, the second set was an uncomfortable watch. And I spoke to Badosa about the Coco Gauff forehand. A couple of days ago, we asked you about the tactic and what it would be against Coco.
Now you know.
I think so, yeah. I think so. I mean, I'm thinking it's just to give her as many forehands as possible.
Yeah.
and I was thinking, as I was watching, I was thinking it's not really attack the forehand, it's give the forehand, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, I mean, she's a very good, she plays amazing when she's defending. She's very fast, she has crazy backhand, very good serve, especially first serves. I just try to return her every ball to make her play one more. Sometimes when she feels she doesn't have like 3 points on the serve, she starts to serve a little bit worse. And of course, going more to her forehand, most because of her backhand is very good. And when you have like the spot there, you just go there. But I just try to go to her forehand, and yet sometimes just give it to her and make her like do more.
So give the forehand. That was 2023. Basically, you can't rush Coco. And in fact, if you attack her, it can sometimes be worse, particularly on the forehand side anyway, than just give her the forehand. So particularly in that match anyway, and at that juncture in Coco's career, it was just a case of lofting it up. And so coming back to your question, if you slow the ball to the Coco forehand, I actually think it might cough up more. It might cough up more. I will say that she's made a bit of an improvement, that sometimes if you do give her the forehand, she will punish you. But I don't think there's a huge disparity. It's not like Iga where you need to rush her on the forehand. Oh, Coco's missed that forehand on the line, but that was an example where she kind of just had to attack, and that's fine for Coco. Will probably go down as an unforced error, that one on the forehand side, but you know, she was pushed far out wide into a corner and she just had to go big down the line. 15 love. Okay, backhand return from Coco is good. And the rushed backhand there from Sabalenka misses, 15 all. Sabalenka serving. Misses the first serve. Marcus, you are so off it. Forehand return here from Coco. Forehand now from Sabalenka. It's really flat, but actually Coco's got it back. Now Coco's on the backhand and she dumps into the net, inexplicably for her in particular. So 30-15. Do everyone hit the like button, by the way, please. And I want to know, do we think we're going to get to 28,600 today? I think we will. If it goes 3 sets, we'll definitely get to 28,600. But I think we'll get there anyway. Miss hit forehand return. 40-15. 2 game points for Aryna Sabalenka. Serve out wide is missed. Second serve, Sabalenka. Backhand return. Backhand now from Sabalenka. Is that going to go long? Yes, it is. 40-30. I think that in terms of the mental challenge posed by Gauff for Sabalenka, I think there are environments where, such as Madrid, for example, and also I think Miami, but we may see that not the case today, but I think where she feels just a little bit more comfortable. Aryna. Good serve down the tee. She holds for 4-2. I do think that one break might be enough for her in this set. Four 2, 29 minutes on the clock for 6 games. So they're averaging about 5 minutes a game at the moment. I mean, obviously one of those Coco holds was sort of 8-9 minutes, wasn't it? Well, indeed, Remissus. Remissus, by the way, if you haven't already done so, can you hit subscribe for me? That would be great. Coco's going to win this with a backhand winner, 15 love. If you haven't subscribed already, Remissus, and you do subscribe, you're going to see that number above my head tick over. And that will be you, and we'll be forever grateful. If you're already a subscriber, I apologize. Okay, 15 love here. Coco Gauff serving. Misses the first serve. So a second serve here for Sabalenka to look at. Oh, look at Sabalenka inside that baseline. And it's a really good return from Aryna. She's on the attack on this point, and she should win it, and does. 15 all. Who's favourite for the French Open right now? Right now, before a single ball on clay has been hit, I would lean Iga. Oh, backhand into the net from Coco, and it's 15-30. No, on the women's side, I mean, Remissus. Yeah, on the men's side, I would just have Carlos as the marginal favourite as well. But there's only 2 possibilities on the men's side. On the women's, I think you could make a case for all 4 of the big 4 players. Probably you just couldn't make a case for Pegula because of the surface and her lack of success on clay. But the other 4 players, I think you can make a case to say that player is the favourite. Second serve here for Coco. Igor Ryba, says Remissus. Yeah, maybe. As I say, I think there's a case. I would listen to cases for all 4 players because I think I could make a case. Double fault, 15-40. In fact, shall I make a case for all 4 players at the change of ends? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a case for all 4 players at the French Open. I think with someone like Iga, you have to make the case for her not being the favourite, if you like. Obviously, so many French Open titles. Good first serve out wide there from Coco. Saves the first of the break points. Remember, she saved 3 break points in her previous service game. So 30-40. Thank you for our latest subscriber as well. Much appreciated. Break point number 2 here at 30-40. Backhand return is decent. Now Coco's in a spot of bother here. Now it's on the forehand of Coco. And Aryna again gets a bit lucky with the net cord. Oh, it's a backhand win across court. She's broken 5-2. Surely that's the first set done. Coco's looking pretty dejected here, but was Aryna a bit lucky there? I mean, she obviously had the net cord, but was she also a bit lucky? Did she hit that backhand that cleanly? Not sure. All right, I said in the change of ends, I would make a case. I think for the other, I think with Iga, it's just like, what's the case against? Because how many French Opens has she won? 2020, 2022, 2023, 2024, I think, right? So she's won 4 French Opens, Iga Swiatek. So I don't think I need to make a case for Iga, right? I just don't think you need to make a case for her. 4 French Opens, and it's not that long ago since she won the French Open, as in like she just didn't win it last year. And even last year, when she had her worst ever clay court season, she still made the semis. And boy, oh boy, she might have, she went 3 sets with Aryna, albeit the 3rd set was a whitewash. I don't think I need to make a case. Her peak is the best on that surface, especially at the French Open. And it's not that long ago she won it. So easy case, right? The case against is the form. Last year, she had her worst ever clay court season, and yet she still nearly won it. Iga's worst clay performances will still see her come close to winning the French Open, quarters, semis, etc. And will still push Rybakina, Sabalenka, et al. The cases for Sabalenka, well, she's very close, isn't she? 2023, she's probably 1 point away from winning that match against Mukova. She was 1 point away. She had a match point, didn't she? Against Karolina Mukova. I think she has an edge on Iga in terms of just where the two players are at as well. They haven't played each other much in recent months. But the last two matches between the two have both gone the way of Aryna Sabalenka, and one of those did come at the French Open. And Sabalenka is just so good that you can put her on, you could put her on gravel and she'd probably win. So, yeah. Coco, by the way, arguably is the most informed clay court player. We haven't had a single point yet this year, but she won the French Open last year and is the defending champion. And she probably moves, with the exception of Iga, she moves much better than Sabalenka and Rybakina, right? But Rybakina and Sabalenka have the form. Rybakina is probably, for me, actually, I saw Remisos go for Iga or Ryba. I'd actually have Ryba as maybe the fourth favorite. I think Rybakina's pedigree at the French Open is not, she's never been she's never made it beyond the quarters, I would say, Rybakina. She went out in the fourth round last year, didn't she? To Iga. Yeah, fourth round, albeit 7-5 in the third. She got to the quarters, didn't she, in 2024, lost to Paolini. Eventual finalist. 2023, she gave a walkover to Sorribes Tormo. She pulled out injured. 2022, which of course the year she went on to win the Wimbledon, she lost in the third round to Madison Keys. Sabalenka here with 2 game points. 2 set points, by the way. And she made the quarters in 2021. Okay, 2 set points here for Aryna Sabalenka. 40-15. Serves out wide. Oh, for sure, Roseanne. In fact, I'd probably make her even bigger favourite on indoor carpet, bearing in mind how good she is on the grass. I think maybe clay might be the biggest level amongst these 4 players, by the way. Backhand return here from Coco into the backhand of Sabalenka. Forehand now into the forehand of Aryna. She sticks in this dynamic, and you'd imagine it would be favourable. But she pulls out a backhand winner down the line. Set point seized, converted. Sabalenka 6-2. It was a close set. She had to save a couple of break points. She was under pressurizing the Coco Gauff serve regularly. But for an 8-game set, 40 minutes, tells you it's been a pretty good one. I'd say it was an exciting one. And I don't think this match is anywhere near concluded. Indeed, but so many players have Coco scrambling, and she still ends up prevailing. Coco, they're playing 6 more points on serve. Tells you a little bit more about how under pressure she was. Total points won, 30-22. And okay, I thought Sabalenka saved a couple of break points. According to this stat here, 0 from 0 for Coco. So maybe I'm smoking something. I don't know. Both players getting a fraction over 60% first serves in. I think both players would like to get it a little bit up. What I'd like to see is double. I'd like to see winners and unforced errors and double faults. But of course, WTA being so poor on its data doesn't show us those stats. Yeah, but does she need a plan against Aryna? I don't think there is a plan against Aryna. Maybe go big on the second serve returns and go into the feet. I don't think Coco is a plan. This is not a criticism. It's all about her makeup as a tennis player. That basically, in terms of Coco against 97% of the tour, it's just about what tennis does Coco bring. Yes, against Sabalenka, I think it's still the same. I think it's really about what Sabalenka brings. If Sabalenka doesn't have a third set like she had at Roland Garros last year, and if Sabalenka doesn't fade away like she did in the US Open last year, then there's not a lot that Coco could do. But those two things in those two finals do happen because of how Coco's playing. So, yeah. I think between the absolute elites, as in those four players that we've highlighted, and you could possibly throw Pegula in there in certain circumstances, I think it's largely about who plays better on the day. Forehand error there from Coco. Of course, against Coco, you are going to feed her a few more forehands. But let's say as well on a second serve, and you're saving a break point, you're probably going to the Coco forehand, right? Anyway, love 15 here. Coco serves into the backhand of Sabalenka, which just again clips that net. Sabalenka getting away with a few here. What a forehand that is, though, from Coco. See, you put the forehand under pressure and she can sometimes respond. 15 all. Okay, 30-15 here for Gauff. Into the backhand of Sabalenka. Forehand now from Coco. Backhand cross court. Backhand cross court. Backhand into the net from Coco Gauff, and it's 30 all. Yeah, maybe. Maybe a few slices, you're saying? Got to be really good slices, though, against Aryna, or she's killing it. Yeah, I don't dislike it, Rismus. But the thing is, I can understand that you would want to change things up going into the match if the head-to-head was 10-2 in Aryna's favor, but it was 6 all. Okay, backhand here down into the line. I actually don't dislike just keep going backhand down the middle of the court for Coco as well. Okay, just seeing them exchange forehands here, and actually it's Coco who prevails that point, 40-30. Keep it attritional as well. I think if the more attritional it is, you would just start to lean to Coco, given the athlete that she is. Okay, 40-30. Game point here for Coco Gauff to get her mark on the board and take a 1-love lead in this second set. Misplaced ball toss from Coco. She lets it go. Backhand return from Aryna's going to... Oh, no, missed first serve. So second serve here for Sabalenka to look at. Where are you going to go with this second serve? Backhand return. It's a good body serve, and she holds. It's a really good body serve. There you go. There's a nice idea as well for the second serve. Going to the body as we approach the 3/4 hour mark for this encounter. Coco Gauff holds 1-love. Change of ends. I love Estoril, the ATP 250, which last year was a challenger, but was back up to a 250 for this year. That is my favorite. Sabalenka winning a lot of points on her first serve, more than average, actually. A forehand return here from Coco goes into the net. 15 love. If you're just tuning in, please do hit that like button. And if you haven't already done so, hit subscribe. Watch this number change and do a little dance. That's going to land out. That return, so 30 love. Oh, the Charleston WTA 500, right? Kiddit. Oh, that's nice. Where are you based, Remissus? Where in the world are you based? I've not seen you in the chat before. Maybe you've been in the chat before, but I've not seen you in the chat before, so it's great to have you here. But maybe you have been in the chat and I just haven't seen you. You're from Florida. Great. I say it's a bit of a trip. Seattle? Is that where you're from, Kiddit? Or is that... I thought Daniel Island was Charleston. Regarding my... yes, I do speak Spanish. As you know, as you said, yeah. Yeah, some. I had some lessons in Brazil last year and the year before. And I had some lessons in Porto as well. So I've probably had 5 or 6 weeks worth of lessons. Plus the Spanish base can be deceptive, but is largely helpful, especially in terms of comprehension. Yeah. Eu falo pouco português. Oh, you're going to Charleston as well, are you, Remissus? Okay, cool. Into the rally here. Backhand from Sabalenka is going to miss. 30 all. Is it really that close to where you are? So I guess you're not that close to Florida? There's James Blake, the tournament director. Comes in for a lot of stick, but actually he's nowhere near the top of my hit list. Okay, cool. Have you been a subscriber for a long time? Have you been tuning into our videos for years, or are you a recent acquaintance of ours? Or friend, perhaps? You're in Northern Florida, right? Okay. Okay, fair enough. Hey, Jake, how are you? Jake is a regular, by the way, Remissus, but good to have you on board. Oh, backhand miss there from Sabalenka, so it is deuce. One thing I think we can sometimes see Sabalenka frustrated and annoyed and things don't quite work out and she expresses herself, but she does sort of compartmentalize it into each point. Not always and not throughout her career, but most of the time. And I think today, you know, no worries thus far. Serves down the tee, backhand return. Now it's on the forehand of Aryna into the forehand of Coco. Now on the backhand of Aryna. She comes into the net here, but she's going to be passed. That's an excellent passing shot for Coco Gauff. And she's got a break point. Oh, that's cool. Great to have you on board, Remissus. Please join us at any time your wife refuses to watch tennis with you. We'll always watch it with you. That is for sure. We will be live again tomorrow for the men's final. And then also we have weekly shows, more or less. They're not every week. Sometimes when you have a 2-week Masters or a 2-week Slam, we don't do them all the time. But we have regular live shows as well. And pre-recorded videos for previews and loads more. Sometimes interviews as well. Okay, Sabalenka serving here. Break point to save. Forehand return. That was obvious that she'd go for the forehand, but it's a good depth on that forehand from Coco. But now Coco dumps a forehand into the net. You knew, given the pressure scenario, that Sabalenka was going to go for the Coco forehand. And she just went there twice to the well, and it was enough to draw the error. Yeah, fingers crossed Remissus and Kirit can meet up. Ozan, Tommy Haas. Yeah. It's probably a hit list of 1, to be honest. No, I see how Craig Tiley has run the Australian Open, and I feel very uncomfortable. Let's say that. Game point here for Aryna Sabalenka. Sabalenka to serve. Backhand return from Coco. Forehand from Aryna. Clips the net and lands back on her side. So it is deuce. Yes, indeed he does, Ozan. Indeed he does. Somehow. Jake here supporting Aryna Sabalenka. $50 on the clock, and we're back to deuce. Sabalenka serves out wide to the forehand, of course. Now it's on the Gauff foot backhand. It was just to sort of, I don't know how to explain it, but if Gauff was like totally comfortable on her forehand, yes, of course, by the time she's getting that ball, she's hitting a backhand. But I think if you're like me, or if you're Rafa, or who else sort of shows on, Tsitsipas, of course, you're already at the center of the court, ready to hit a forehand. But she wasn't, and in the end, her position was quite off. Anyway, Sabalenka holds after a forehand from Coco goes into the net. 1-1. I feel like Coco had a couple of break points in the first set, but the WTA stats said that she didn't. But the WTA stats are often rubbish. Have I been to the French Open? Yes, I have. I was there for the first time in 2019, semifinals, men's semifinals day. Oh, what a return that is from Sabalenka. Take a rain mac. In fact, take a jacket. I actually have a picture of myself from that day. Also, don't always go on the website last minute as well and check for tickets. It's coming a long way from Florida, so I'm guessing you've already got some tickets in the bag. But I wouldn't, I go without tickets and just get last minute. 15-all here on the Gauff serve. Going to see if I can find a picture of me at the French Open. Here we go. Are you ready for this? Dun, 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 dun. That's French Open semi-final. Djokovic, Dominic Thiem, that eventually got rained off and had to be finished on the Saturday morning. Whether that played a factor into Dominic Thiem, I don't think so on the Sunday. I think if anything, having the match spread over 2 days was okay for him, I think. Ace here from Gauff to get her to 40-15. But also, listen, I'm guessing you've got tickets already. But, look at that backhand down the middle of the court. See, look at these backhands down the middle of the court. Coco loves those. And then she produces a nice angle on the forehand and holds for 2-1. Yeah, exactly. Maybe the last year without a roof, Ozan, because I think by the winter one, the October one, they had a roof, right? In 2020, that was the first year. Look at Jamie here, by the way. Jamie is a friend of mine, and he was the one who took the picture. Saying photo credit, please. Very funny, especially in the wake of some of the credit gate things going off on or site gate from social media recently. Jake's changed his mind. Come on, Coco. Maybe it's because he wants a third set. Yeah, that honestly, it's a long way for you to come from Florida without tickets, but you'll get them easy. Because what they do with events such as slams, or especially the French Open, which is so heavily corporate, that they save tickets. So, you'll go on the website and you'll think that Philippe Chatrier is sold out every day. I even saw Mark Petchey tweet this a couple of years ago. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is regarding the people scrounging for tickets and stuff, 6 months before, and seeing how people were frustrated not getting tickets. And he's like, yeah, Tennis Channel's going to be there. It's going to be rammed. It's going to be so exciting. And you watch Philippe Chatrier for 11 of the 14 days, especially the day session, and it's sparse, especially for the earlier matches, even for like quarterfinals. And so what they do is those tickets suddenly go on sale again when Visa or MasterCard or Evian or whoever the sponsor is just suddenly say, look, we don't need 200 tickets. We need 12. So, yeah. I have a dilemma, Jake, because I want to have dinner. Backhand into the net from Gauff. It's 15 love. Haha. Forehand winner here for Sabalenka, makes it 30 love. Well, Mrs. Honestly, that's all I would have. Is your wife going with you, by the way? To the city of love, Paris. Have we got a confirmed time for Yannick Sinner's match with Jiri Lehetska tomorrow? 9 o'clock Central European time. Okay, forehand return into the forehand of Sabalenka, which is going to just miss 30-15. Yeah, do join us for the men's final tomorrow. Okay, Sabalenka serves down the tee, forehand return. Now on the forehand of Sabalenka, she sticks to that forehand of Coco. Coco gets a bit lucky there with a net cord. Onto the backhand now of each player. Drop shot there from Sabalenka, from Gauff, but Sabalenka chases it down and hits a lovely backhand winner for 40-15. Oh, well, interesting. I hope things are okay at home, Remisos, but if they're not, we're here. We're here. 40-15, 2 game points for Sabalenka to get this to 2-all. Yeah, but I guess that was on the, that was on her resume when you decided to take on this contract, Remissus. Okay, 59 minutes on the clock. Gauff here serving at 2-all. Good serve out wide. Sabalenka gets her racket on it, but it should be a point one for Coco, and it is 15-love. How long have you been married, Remissus? All right, sorry. Maybe we should stick to the tennis. Decent backhand return there from Sabalenka. That's a lovely backhand as well from Sabalenka into the forehand. But actually, Gauff defends well on the forehand side, 30-love. According to Google, Gauff has only hit 3 double faults, which I would suggest after a set and a half of tennis is not bad. 8, 10, 12. This is her 7th service game, I believe. So that's less than half a double fault per game. All right, Remissus. Well, four years mad. We've been going for almost 4 years, Remissus, as a YouTube channel. So, 2022 was when we were born, just like your marriage. Oh, that's a great forehand winner. Yes, a great forehand winner from Coco Gauff, 40-love. So 3 game points here for Coco to get to 3-2. And my spaghetti will have to wait a little bit longer. I will do a full post-match debrief as well. Backhand from Coco goes long, 40-15. What are we thinking right now? Are we thinking 3 sets or straight sets for Saba? Are we going to get a 3rd set? I want everyone watching right now to write in the live chat. Are we getting a 3rd set? Yes or no? Just write Y or N or yes or no. You can either write it out in full or you can write a Y. Are we getting a 3rd set? Tell me, people. Yes or no? Get in that live chat and just hit return. Yes or no? Yes for a 3rd set. No for we're not. Remissus here going no. Jake going no. Both of them obviously going for Sabalenka in straights. I just want to see Ozan going yes. We are going to get a 3rd set. I'm not so sure. Kirit going no. Ozan going yes. Just get a Y or an N in the live chat and then hit return. Yes, we're getting a 3rd set. No, we're not getting a 3rd set. Second serve here for Sabalenka to look out at 40-30. It was 40-love after that forehand winner, but Sabalenka's won back-to-back points. Double fault. Coco's annoyed at that double fault. Deuce. So from 40-love and looking comfy, anything but. Gavin McMillan there clapping and encouraging Coco. That is her 4th double fault of the match. Aryna's yet to hit one. Okay. She's annoyed there, Coco, but 4 double faults across a set and a half, that's kind of just what a lot of players may hit. Maybe not Aryna. Look at this serve clock, by the way, which is frozen at 6 seconds for some reason. Seemed to fail there somewhat. Oh, that's unlucky. That's unlucky, that first serve. 80-20 mental versus technique. Okay. Yeah, I gotcha. Wonderful return from Sabalenka, punishing that second serve, which probably wasn't good enough for Coco. And now we have a break point for Aryna Sabalenka. Haven't seen Nerlan in the live chat for a long time. Okay, second serve here for Sabalenka. Break point to go up 3-2 in this second set. Forehand return is really good, and Coco's going to struggle with that. She's going to struggle with this as well, but she's still in the point because she's fighting. Now it's actually arguably Sabalenka on the back foot. Forehand slice from her. Now Coco comes into the net, but she doesn't have to worry because Sabalenka's not going to get it over the net, and it's deuce. Wow. Okay, an hour and 4 minutes on the clock. Gauff serves down the tee. Sabalenka gets her racket on it. Here's a Coco Gauff forehand with plenty of time. And that's going to miss from Sabalenka, and we've got a game point now for Coco Gauff. 2-all, advantage Coco. Sabalenka had a break point. She was very much in that rally. In fact, she was on top through various stages of it. Coco fought and defended with all she could, and it was enough to ultimately prevail. Anyway, game point here for Coco Gauff. First serve goes into the net, so a second serve here for Aryna Sabalenka to look at. Where are you going with this serve? Down the tee. Wonderful forehand return from Sabalenka. Deuce. Sabalenka wants me to have my dinner before 10 o'clock. It's 9:15 right now. Serves on the tee. What a great return that is from Sabalenka on the backhand. But well done, Coco Gauff, for dealing with it. What a great backhand from Coco. Now it's on the forehand from Coco with good depth. Sabalenka's the one scrambling this time, and she can't scramble and keep that ball on the island. And it's going to be a game point for Coco Gauff. Coco for that last point. Okay, game point, Coco Gauff. Where are you going with this serve? Body serve, not bad. But Sabalenka's dealt with it. Now it's Sabalenka on the backhand, but she dumps that into the net. 3-2, Coco Gauff. She had to save a break point in that game. And we'll take a quick break.
Ready. Play.
And if you're wondering what this little thing is, well, let me tell you now, whether it be tea, coffee, or merely water, it tastes so much better from a talking tennis mug. And you know what? They can be yours if you wish to purchase one from our website. We've also got bags and stickers and hoodies and notebooks. Mira Andreeva. T-shirts as well, of course, coming in both black and white. And we've got a classic jumper for you as well, and many, many other things for you to purchase for excellent prices so you can look like some of the coolest people on the tour. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis. I'm back, people. Don't worry. Okay. 2-3. Sabalenka serving. Indeed, Jake, indeed. Okay, backhand from Sabalenka's got good depth on it, but Coco's scrambling really well, but she can't deal with that backhand, of course. 15 love. I'm running a half marathon, people, tomorrow afternoon. We will have the men's final. I think we'll have Carson and a few others for that one. Okay, 15 love here. Sabalenka serves out wide. Backhand return from Coco is pretty good. And Sabalenka on the backhand dumps it into the net. So 15 all. For the 13.1. 13.1, do you mean 13.1 miles? Because in kilometers, it is 21.1. I've never seen it written in miles like that. I'll tell you all about it in a moment. 30-15 here for Sabalenka. In fact, I can tell you about it now. I don't know exactly. I could count them, but it would take me too long. It's about my 8th or 9th half marathon. I think I've run 6 or 7 full marathons. Is it really 13.1? Okay. I know it's 21.1 kilometers. I've never seen miles like written in a decimal like that. So my full marathon PB, Ozan, is 3 hours and 38. My half marathon PB is 1 hour 36. But very, very important to tell you, both of those occurred 11 years ago. I am a long, long way off that. So, yeah, tomorrow I will do it I hope, in a very leisurely 2 hours and 5, 2 hours and 10, something like that. If I get less than 2 hours, I will be very, very surprised. So yeah, one piece is the first objective. Secondly, get it as close to 2 hours as possible. Yep, 3 hours 38, my PB. It was in Seville in 20. What a return that is from Sabalenka. But we're still into the rally. You can even, and she's just gone long, 15 left. You can even just Google my name and write Marathon de Sevilla, for example, and you will find my name and my time, and you may find my certificate, but certainly you'll find it. And you could obviously do Media Marathon Sevilla, and you'll find that as well. I've done Seville. In terms of full marathons, I've done Seville twice. Has that backhand missed from Gauff? Yes, it has. In terms of full marathons, I've done Seville twice. I've done London. I've done Hamburg. I've done Zurich. I've done Bonn. I actually did Bonn twice in 3 days because I did complete it on the Friday, but it was during COVID and the app failed, so I did it again. But I did it twice in 3 days. Ace there from Coco out wide to bring up 30-15. Chicago, Berlin, London, and Tokyo. Wow, you just do the big ones, Ozan, in terms of names. Are they all in the sort of, whatever you call it, like A1? Because there's categories, right? And I think London and Boston definitely, and New York are in this sort of top tier of marathons. I really enjoyed Seville. I lived in Seville at the time, so yeah. Yeah, 2 marathons in 3 days because I just decided to. And it was the French Open final, the one indoors when Rafa beat Novak in straights. I'll tell you about it in a minute. Just going to watch this rally here at 30 all with Sabalenka putting her backhand into the net. Yeah, and I said to myself, look, if Rafa wins this French Open, I'm going to do the marathon again. And I did it on a Sunday night. It was raining. It was drizzly. My bones and joints and limbs were aching pretty badly. And I did it in a very slow time, but I did it. Because I'd done it on the Friday in like 4 hours. Something like that. Okay, Gauff here serving. Second serve at 40-30. Backhand return from Sabalenka into the forehand of staying on that forehand. She comes into the net, Aryna, but she doesn't have to worry about it because Gauff doesn't get her forehand over the net and it's deuce. A break here for Sabalenka would feel huge. No, I didn't, but it was tough, Ozan. It was tough. But I took it really easy, that one on the Sunday. So I do it on the Friday in the daytime. It was a bit drizzly then as well. Anyway, Gauff's here serving. Down the tee, but misses the first serve. So a second serve here for Sabalenka to look at. Probably going to need a third set if we're going to get to 28,600 subs. Backhand return is well missed. Well missed? Do you know what I mean? Like missed in a big way by Sabalenka. Yeah, I think we might need a third set for us to get over to get 9 more subs. Or at least a second set tiebreak. Okay, Gauff serving here. Out wide. Backhand return from Aryna Sabalenka is pretty good. Now on the forehand of Sabalenka, she should put this away, and she does with consummate ease. Deuce. Got a lot of people tuning in right now. Please do hit that like button. And if you are new to the channel, hit subscribe. Also, hit that notification bell and you will be notified every time we go live with watch-alongs such as this, but also some of our other shows that we do live as well. Gauff misses the first serve, so a second serve here for Sabalenka to look at. Big moment. She had a break point on the previous service game of Gauff's, didn't she? Double fault. Double fault, people. We've got a break point for Aryna Sabalenka. Huge moment in the match. Biggest point of the match so far. No doubt about that. Gauff in a spot of bother here. Maybe even a bit more than a spot. What's a bit more than a spot? A blot? A chunk of bother? Gauff on the forehand. Sabalenka on the forehand into the net. Deuce. No, I haven't, Ozan. No trial marathons for me. Everybody watching now, please hit that subscribe button as we edge closer to 30K. I said we'd get to 30K in the week after Monte Carlo. I'm pretty optimistic about that. Hey, Ghosty. Game point for Gauff. Okay. Game point for Coco Gauff to get to 4-3. Forehand return is going to go long. Gauff holds, saves a break point again, and we'll take another quick break.
Ready. Play.
And if you're wondering what this little thing is, well, let me tell you now, whether it be tea, coffee, or merely water, it tastes so much better from a talking tennis mug. And you know what? They can be yours if you wish to purchase one from our website. We've also got bags and stickers and hoodies and notebooks. Mira Andreeva. T-shirts as well, of course, coming in both black and white. And we've got a classic jumper for you as well, and many, many other things for you to purchase for excellent prices so you can look like some of the coolest people on the tour. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis. Okay, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, and Aryna Sabalenka and Coco Gauff are back too. For those of you obviously wondering about a link for our merch, I can now just post it for you in the live chat. There is our stuff, our merch, and here's a link to that merch. Yeah, because she used to like the she likes the notebooks, right? At the change of ends. Okay, Sabalenka here serving 3-4. So the question is, am I going to get my dinner in 15 minutes or 1 hour? Sabalenka errs there. I need Aryna to win this in straight sets if I'm going to get my dinner in the next 15 minutes or so. But I'm fine because I'm actually quite intrigued by a potential third set. And the way Sabalenka started this service game would suggest we might get a third set. We'll see. Love 15. Ozan here is pretty sure we're going to have a third set. I will actually start cooking it during the third set. I'll actually probably just make the pasta at least. Anyway, Sabalenka serves. Backhand return from Coco Gauff into the backhand of Sabalenka. Now it's on the forehand of Coco, and the forehand of Sabalenka goes cross court, pressurizing that forehand of Coco Gauff's, but Coco dealing with it so far. That's a big backhand from Sabalenka, and it's into the backhand of Coco, which eventually ends up in the net, 15-all. Bless you, Jake. Very tired. GHGF-16W. Wonderful that you have entered the chat. If you haven't already done so, GHJF-16W, or is that L6W? I'm not sure. Can you hit subscribe on our channel? You may even have just done so. I don't know who that was, but if it wasn't you, can you do so? And watch this number tick over, and you'll have made a huge difference to our day. 15-all here. Second serve for Sabalenka. First one didn't land in. Second one does. And the forehand return doesn't from Coco Gauff. 0 double faults so far from Sabalenka in this match. Long gone are those days when the double faults were an issue for her. Okay, Sabalenka serves out wide. Backhand return from Coco is pretty good considering the depth. Now it's on the forehand of Coco, which has also got good depth. Now she comes into the net. Really aggressive tennis there from Coco, and she reaps the reward as we get to 30-all. There's a challenger in Japan at the moment, right? I've seen Eddie tweeting about it. Forehand return here from Coco into the forehand of Sabalenka. Backhand from Coco now into the backhand of Sabalenka. Wonderful backhand from her. She should put this volley away and does. 40-30. Well, misses the first serve, Miss Sabalenka. So a second serve here for Coco Gauff to look at. Sabalenka has a game point for 4-all. We are 7 subscribers away from 28,600. Run around forehand return for Coco, which is not necessarily a good thing. What a backhand that is from Sabalenka, though, to hold, sorry, for 4-all. Are we entering the latter stages of this match, or are we going to go to a third set? Down the line winner, indeed. How is the clay in Charleston, by the way, compared to, say, the European red clay? Because it's green, right? And they say it plays different. 4-all. Gauff here serving. A break of serve now for Aryna would have probably be decisive, bearing in mind Aryna hasn't been broken all match. Her serve has come under pressure, though, and Coco's had her chances. But, of course, a break of serve here for Aryna would mean she'd serve for the match. And Aryna certainly had her chances on the Coco serve. Okay. Gauff to serve. Down the tee, backhand return into the forehand of Coco Gauff, which is going to be an easy put away for her, even on the forehand. 15 love. They put more calcium on the clay, Ozan, do they? Okay. Okay, an hour and 24 minutes on the clock. I think we might be getting a tiebreak in this set, but we'll see. And we know how Sabalenka is in tiebreaks. 30 love. I mean, she's not lost a Grand Slam tiebreak in about 18 months, right? Something like that. Maybe more. Forehand here for Coco. She puts it away. 40 love. Just trying to remember the last time Sabalenka lost a tiebreak in the Slam. Probably 2023. Just looking at her run to the Australian Open title. Coco Gauff holds 5-4. I mean, she wins. This is in 2024 when she won the title. Yes, Coco pushed her, but she beat Coco in a tiebreak in the first set there, didn't she? But Coco was serving for that first set, I think, in that semi-final in Australia in 24. But the rest of the time, she beats Seidel 0-1. She beat Fruhvirtova 3-2. She beat Sorenko Love and Love, double bagel. She beats Anisimova 3-2. She beats Krejcikova 2-3. And then she has the big tough one against Coco. That was a really, really, really close match that could have easily gone 3 sets, 7-6, 6-4. And then she beats Kim Wen-jeng 3-2. I mean, 6 of her 7 matches, she didn't lose more than 5 games in that 2024 run. I mean, I don't know if you've seen the whole match, Ghosty, but Coco's had to really fight to hold on to her serve for most of this second set. But that last service game, you're right, hold to love. Pretty comfortable. Hey, Yuki. I'm just looking at Yuki on the carpet in front of me. She's curled up in a ball. She's just let out a... I don't think she's interested in the tennis. Occasionally, I've got her into being interested in a tennis ball. But actually, by dog standards, she's not really a big tennis ball lover either. Yeah, was that in the first set or the second set, Ozan? I can't remember that one now. Was that in the first set, I think, when she had that 9-minute hold? I think every service game in that first set was a toughie for her. I mean, she got broken twice, but even in the second set, there was one with plenty of juices and some break. I think Sabalenka had 3 break points in one game, didn't she? Didn't take any of them. Forehand return here from Coco into the backhand of Aryna, which is going to be put away with consummate ease. 15 love. Okay, 3 subscribers away from this 28,600 mark. So I think we might just get there before the end of this stream, because even if Sabalenka wins this 6-2, 7-5, and I don't think she will, but even if she does, that might be enough to get us over the line, especially as I'll do a post-match debrief live, which I know you're all very excited about. That was a weird second serve. I don't think that was an off-pace second serve. I think it was a miss-hit second serve. I think she got away with that one, Aryna. 30 love. Well over 100 people tuning in right now on YouTube. Please do hit that like button. And if you haven't already done so, hit subscribe and watch that number change above my head. I don't know if she quite framed it, but it certainly was nearer the top part of the racket than she intended, I'm sure. Backhand into the net from Sabalenka, 30-15. Okay, 30-15 here. Sabalenka serving. Oh, we're just one. Oh, look, there we go. Thank you, people, for hitting subscribe. You can do your little dance now, knowing you've made a difference. Serves down the T. Forehand return into the backhand of Aryna Sabalenka. Forehand now into the backhand of Saba, which is going to go long. 30 all. 30 all, ladies and gentlemen. And Coco Gauff right now, this is a pressure point because it's Coco Gauff is just suddenly 2 points away from winning this second set. Suddenly, oh, 30 all. Sabalenka, hour and 29 minutes on the clock. Serves out wide, back forehand return, but she's going to miss that first serve. So a second serve here for Coco Gauff to look at. We've not had a double fault from Aryna Sabalenka in this entire match. Sabalenka serving 30-40. She didn't hit a double fault here. But Coco's on top of this point. Coco's on top of this point. Sabalenka dumps the backhand into the net, and we have got a set point now. Doesn't matter, Ozan. It'll peak up again, don't worry. What we have got, though, is a set point for Coco Gauff as we hit the exact 1 hour and 30-minute mark. And this is where, of course, serving first in this second set might well prove beneficial for Coco. Okay, Sabalenka needs a first serve here. Is she going to get that first serve? We're about to find out. Serves out wide. Doesn't get the first serve in. Does a little flick with her back heel, which I'm sure Ronaldo would be proud of. Second serve for Coco Gauff to look at. She's looking pretty chilled here. Is she going to seize this moment? Sabalenka serves. Down the tee. Forehand return from Coco. It's really good. Sabalenka can't deal with it. We're going 3, ladies and gentlemen. Boom, boom, boom. 3 sets, Ozan. We will take a break. Hey, thanks for taking the time to, well, you haven't got any choice, actually. I'm just talking at you, if you like. But I'm here also to present to you why I think it's not a bad idea and not that expensive as well if you become a member. And this is how you can do it, and this is what you can gain. So if we look here at the Talking Tennis sort of home page, if you like, on YouTube, we can see this little button here which says join. It is also pinned in the live chat as well, and you can also, I think, see it just below most of our videos, certainly the live ones and so on. Now, why is it a good idea to join and become a member? Well, in the live chat, you can add little funny things, you can add emojis and all sorts of things, but possibly more importantly, you can get to access some live videos, such as this one here, where we look back on the last sort of few moments from the Billie Jean King Cup. So there are little bonuses, such as this one, but there are many, many more. And in fact, if we have a quick look at all of the members only stuff, I repeat, you will see very, very quickly some of the top stuff that we've had for members only over the last 12 months since the channel began. Remember, these videos are for members only. You can become a member from as little as about $2 a month, €2 a month, £2 a month, something like that. There are various different things. Oh, and by the way, you'll also be supporting the channel. So it's a win-win-win-win scenario. Let me just show you some of the members only stuff. For example, we've got an exclusive little clip there talking to Laura Siegmund, Laura Tsurenko, her encore interview, some doubles footage there from Monastir, the Germany press conference pre-tournament Billie Jean King Cup, Claire Burrell talking as well to the media in her press conference in Monastir, Storm Hunter and Alicia Parks interview, Rebecca Masarova, her press conference, Coco Gauff, exclusive for members only, albeit it was in Madrid. But these are just some of the things, some of the interviews and etc. Like Lestien here, a chat with him, Emma Navarro, and so on and so forth. So many little bonus videos available for just €2 a month. So, what are you waiting for? Become a member. Or don't. It's okay. Don't know if Aryna Sabalenka or Coco Gauff are talking tennis members. But if you want to become a member, it is pinned in the live chat. So just click join there, or you can also click join just below the screen. 30-15 here, double fault from Coco Gauff. 6-1 of the match. Sabalenka is yet to hit a double fault, but we are into a third set. And it does feel a little strange because I think it's fair to say that Sabalenka's been the better player by a margin that would suggest a straight sets win. But it's all about winning the big points, isn't it? I think, by the way, the WTA stats are off because at the end of that set, again, it said Sabalenka only had 2 break points in the entire set. And I think she had at least 3 in one game. So I think those stats from the WTA are off. But I did say this, and if we are going to trust their first serves landing in stats, I think Sabalenka's just got to keep believing. If Sabalenka believes she wins this final, it's simple as that. She's got to just believe and realize that she's been the better player for most of the match. And if she keeps believing and keeps playing like this, she should win it. And she should win it probably quite easily. But if she starts to waver like she did in the US Open and French Open finals, well, I think Coco will seize the day. 40-30 with an ace out wide there from Coco Gauff. So a game point for the American here. I think Ahmed is already a subscriber. We were chatting in the live chat, I think maybe yesterday during the Sinner-Zverev match. We will have the men's final tomorrow, so please join us for that one. Starting at around about 3 p.m. local time, 8 p.m. GMT. Gauff here serving 40-30. Double fault, deuce. That's 2 in this game alone. And I was kind of praising Coco in terms of the fact that hitting 4 across a set and 3 quarters, something like that, or even 2 sets, for her is fine. But now it's creeping up, and she won't want to hit too many more. Really good serve, but Sabalenka's dealt with that. Now Sabalenka on the backhand. Sabalenka cross-court into the backhand of Coco Gauff. Now in the backhand exchange here, but Coco's dealing with this pretty well. Who's going to break down first? It's Coco going just long. Just by millimeters. Break point. Aryna Sabalenka. No, I don't think she will, Ozan. I mean, it's a huge period of time. She's probably got possibly another 10 years on the tour. But I don't think she's winning the Career Grand Slam, no. I still think that Aryna's more likely to complete it than Coco. Oh, wonderful backhand winner. Sabalenka breaks. 1-love. Yeah, it was such a good one. My backhand's bigger than yours, Rally. I love that comment, Jake. Love it. Yeah, Ahmed is already subscribed. Of course you are, Ahmed. Ahmed, you're in Islamabad, right? I think you were, I think you and Ghost even exchanged pleasantries yesterday in the chat. Wow, what a backhand that was from Aryna Sabalenka to finish off that last rally. And Sabalenka takes that break point. Unlike the break point opportunity she had in the second set, she does have that break advantage. And I think it was just a case of having to believe. Just got to believe. And she wins this match because it's only doubt that would see her slip. WTA live rankings. I am intrigued because I think we're going to be seeing Iga's obviously at number. Yeah, she's slipping to number 4 after this tournament. It's a big gap between her and Pegula, though. And then even bigger down at Svitolina in 7. But don't forget, Iga slipped to, I think, 7 in the world after the French Open last year. And she doesn't have a lot to defend on clay, so I would imagine that she'll stay in that top 4 and may even creep back up to 3. But there is a gap widening now. There's around about 1,000 points between her and Sabalenka. Sorry, her and Rybakina are in second place. The gap between Iga in 4th place and Sabalenka in 1st is 4,400 points. That would be around about 2,800. That's the same gap as between Iga and Noskova in 14th. Okay, backhand return into the rally right now. And Sabalenka's going to go up 40 love. 3 game points now for Aryna to consolidate this break. And get to 2 love. Yeah, but I just think career slam is a big ask because I just think she's getting further away. It's not like where we were at probably when she had that match point against Madison Keys. I feel like she, despite the Wimbledon run, I just think that was a chance for Iga to strike, and good for her, she did it. But she had to win Wimbledon last year, in my opinion. Forehand error from Sabalenka to the net, 40-15. Oh, has she? Anisimovan's withdrawn from Charleston. Of course, she's just changed her coach. Or I say changed her coach. She's dispensed of the service of Rick, her coach, who I think is from the Netherlands, right? But I don't think she's got a new coach yet. Of course, Wim Fissette is on the market. She obviously likes coaches from the lowlands. Sabalenka's made that backhand, has she? Yes, she has. Wow. Just wow. I'd like to see the total points here because I think Aryna will be comfortably in front by a good margin of 10 or 15, I'd have thought. Kendall Taylor saying, "You racist man, I will not subscribe to you." Well, Kendall, that is your right, and you're exercising that right. And you also can call me a racist. It's okay. Kendall Taylor, 2617. 15 love for Coco Gauff, despite the misplaced ball toss on the first serve. And 42 minutes on the clock. Indeed, that was a great slice serve out wide. Yeah, I know, Ozan. When Ozan went, I thought he was like, I thought you were in response to Ghosty's suggestion that was a great slice out wide. Backhand return from Sabalenka is going to go long, 30 love. No, I would suggest I have biases of varying degrees against other fans as well, Ghosty. But yeah, Arsenal fans are a bit annoying. That is true. Okay, 30 love. Although Ozan and I were talking about football yesterday, and I think Ozan was kind of feeling a bit about Arsenal fans too. Backhand into the net there from Coco, 30-15. It just feels like Aryna's just got to maintain things, and that's what she hasn't managed to do in those 2 slam finals. Look at this. She's ready for the runaround forehand return, but she dumps it into the tram lines, 40-15. Yeah. Ghosty, yeah. That's certainly a sentiment. I mean, There's a show called The Overlap, but I won't go into details about the show. But it's a fan friendly show. It brings fans on, and they have resident fans that are often YouTubers, etc. What a backhand down the line, Sabalenka, 40-30. And there's a guy on there, and he's just so unaware of the world. You know, Damien Rice. Damien Rice. He was a singer, wasn't he? Damien Rice is the best midfielder in the world, he said. Although, actually, Damien Rice might be a better midfielder than Declan Rice. I don't know if anyone's seen Declan Rice. Apparently, he played the Coco or the League Cup final last Sunday, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure he's even Arsenal's best midfielder. Never mind the best midfielder in the world. He doesn't turn up for England either. I think you've got to do more than beat Leeds away to say you're the best midfielder in the world. And also, like, you know, you got to respect us. You got to respect us. And as people on the show would say, well, go and win something. Win something. And this is before the League Cup final. Oh, for sure, Jake, for sure. Yeah, he wouldn't cost as much and would get less fanfare. Yeah. If he was from Morocco, you know, he'd be regarded like Amrabat. He's decent, but Barcelona and Madrid and Bayern are not clamoring for his signature. There was only, I think, Arsenal and United that were interested. Yes, he deserves to be in the England 11, but that's it. And, yeah. I'm not convinced that Arsenal are winning the league yet either. Yeah. He couldn't. He's not even fit to do up Keane's laces. Come on. Okay, 2-1 here. Sabalenka serving. The water is boiling behind me. Just about. I'm going to add some salt. Should we do a little... because of that comment that Jake just made, I think we need to do a response to that. All right, 30 love. So I heard Yuki. Oh, she's over there. Hey, Yuki. I could shall I put a light on in the living room? I don't know if that's good for her. I'm going to leave her on the carpet, but I'm going to show you. I've just had to unplug the I've had to unplug my microphone, but hopefully you can still hear me all right. Look, 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 look. Can you all see her? She likes to roll over and have her belly tickled. She's like Arsenal in that respect, actually. She's like Arsenal in a big game. She likes to roll over and have her belly tickled. Watch. Well, she's not going to do it now, but she's too tired. Yeah. Yuki has an Instagram page you're more than welcome to follow. By the way, Sabalenka here under a bit of pressure on her serve at 30 all. Yuki here, look. It's like watching Arsenal, right? It's why she's almost fallen asleep. Yeah. Those set piece kings. Yeah, set piece FC. Send you to sleep, right? All right. Let's get back to this because we've got a bit of a pressure moment here for Sabalenka. She's on the forehand, but of course it's the Coco Gauff forehand that breaks down like an Arsenal 11 in a cup final. Okay. Got to plug the microphone back in. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. 40-30 now for Sabalenka. Forehand into the forehand of Coco Gauff, which has got good depth on it, and it forces the error off the racket of Sabalenka, and it's deuce. Just looking at some of the comments here. Yeah, well, maybe that's why he's not here. Okay, game point here for Sabalenka to get to 3-1. So it's done the tee, of course, into the forehand of Coco Gauff, and it doesn't come back. So 3-1 Sabalenka. Yeah, you might be right. I mean, she had 30 all and then she had deuce, didn't she? And that was a returnable serve. What do you think, Jake, about the eager chat we had a little while ago? Kirit here. Kirit's the most mild-mannered person on the planet, and even he's getting involved in the slander-approved tick. Gauff here serving, and it's going to be a second serve. By the way, don't trust those miles an hour things. And I also don't trust them. Sometimes I'll see Sinner hitting 100, according to that, or somewhere it's saying 105 mile an hour, 110 mile an hour second serve for Yannick Sinner, I saw. And then at the end of the match, average serve speed, 99 miles an hour. How can you have a second serve regularly, 105, 106, 107 miles an hour, but average not? What's he hitting? 80 mile an hour first serves and 110 second? Come on. Just about career slam, Jake. And I just think that she's further away than ever. So the question of her completing it or not seemed more relevant 15 months ago than it does today. Maybe. I just think that there's a few stats and a few outlets that are less reliable than others. Nice forehand winner there for Coco, 15 all. But perhaps in the stadium it's accurate, and it might be just I'm talking about the ATP here actually. Might be the ATP ones that come up afterwards that there's a discrepancy, I think, because sometimes Sinner's first serve is 120, and sometimes I'm seeing other players with bigger first serves even, and I just can't understand how it can be like, I saw two players with basically identical average serve speeds, 97 miles an hour. Also, sometimes when the WTA stats pop up, it'll just say like first serve 62%. We don't know, is that first serve in or is it first serve points won? Sometimes you just got to guess. Remisus, I won't be. Will you be? And how does your wife feel about that? Because you told me your wife hates sport, and yet you're going to the French Open this year, and you've actually joined us today because you said that your wife didn't want to watch the match with us, or didn't want to watch the match with you, so you were like, I want to find some company, so you found Talking Tennis, which we're grateful for, by the way. 40-15 here for Coco Gauff. 2 game points to get to 3-2. Exactly. It's an expanding pool. It feels as though she's further away now than, arguably, than ever. I mean, obviously, when 2019, 2020, she was far away. Yes, she won Wimbledon. So in that respect, she's closer. But actually, in terms of what we're seeing in terms of the tennis and the results, no. The water is boiling. Okay, I think I'll put that in at 3-2. And we are at 3-2. We'll have a quick break while I put the spaghetti in the pot. And when we be back, we'll conclude potentially this set. What shall I play? What video shall I play? Oh, shall I play this? little snippet from Sabalenka after she won Madrid in 2023 when I spoke to her in the press conference. There were some Australian Open final vibes for me today, and I was looking at a couple of comparisons. Australia was 2 hours 28 minutes. Today was 2:26. I'm sure you weren't aware of that. But I tell you, 4 championship points. Does that sound familiar? And were you thinking of it during that last game?
Actually, yes, I was thinking when I was down with the break in the last game, I was thinking, okay, I did it at the Australia Open, so probably I'll be able to get this win this time again, and it's actually helped me to stay focused and to have this belief in myself. And yeah, definitely this match reminds a lot of Australia Open match.
Okay, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. That was in Madrid in 2023. Nice. I'm saying this, Remiss, are you saying good night, as in it should be a good night of sporting action, or are you saying good night, goodbye? Hello, the Christinassin, N. I don't know what that means, but no, maybe. But if you are new to the channel and you haven't already done so, please do hit subscribe, Christinassin. And if you hit subscribe, you'll see this little number above and do a little dance. Probably none, Ozan. We don't get... Oh, okay, good night to Jake. Okay. All right, Jake, good night. Yeah, sorry. We don't get accreditation anymore for most tournaments, and your guess is as good as mine as to why. Well, actually, I do have some ideas. We do our job, and we don't... Yeah, we do our job, and we just ask tennis players questions. But they don't like that. They would rather... I know media outlets that get accredited to tournaments and just don't turn up. Don't turn up for press conferences, don't ask for interviews. They just go for the free tickets. And actually, the authorities like that. Yeah, gatekeeping, exactly. That's exactly right. What type of pasta dish on the menu tonight? I'm going to have spaghetti carbonara, Charles Pexton 9966. And thank you for asking. But I'm going to do it slowly. I'm going to do this just going to do the pasta right now. Because of the tennis, basically. Okay, 15 love here for Sabalenka, and a forehand just going to go wide from Coco Gauff. Listen, Coco Gauff has to hone in on the fact that this tournament has been a huge plus for her. Yeah, definitely Remissus. And of course, those that are less democratic, let's say, they will be rewarded. That's not to say that we are perfect. We all have our biases. What's Sabalenka smiling about, by the way? But we think that by and large, in fact, not by and large, more than by and large, I think we're just good for tennis, but tennis doesn't realize that. There we go. 40 love, 3 game points for Aryna Sabalenka. Yeah, I agree, Ghosty. One thing I will say is that at least now the people, I think, are more aware of it. I'm certainly more aware of it than I probably was 5 or 10 years ago. And I think more people are aware of it. But, yeah, we can't do anything about it. 3 game points here for Sabalenka to get to 4-2. We still get challengers. And we might get Estoril this year. But, yeah. Forehand return here from Coco is going to go long. And Sabalenka holds for 4-2. Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts on it. I feel very uncomfortable. But again, you know, the authorities who are supposed to be custodians of the sport should do more about this, but instead they just kowtow and see dollar signs, and that's it. Basically, I mean, by the way, if Talking Tennis had a budget of 100 million and we spent that on tennis, or even just 10 million, we'd be there. We'd be there, and we'd be fine. So that just shows you. Backhand winner here from Coco Gauff, 15 love. The other thing you can do, of course, is just play the game. And I can't play the game. You can play the game as in like just praise. I know one or two newer media outlets that just do that, and they just kiss a lot of proverbial. But even then, they're not asking the questions. They're not, I don't think they're enjoying it because they're just having to be false. Forehand return here into the forehand of Coco Gauff. Backhand here from Sabalenka. Smash from Gauff. Should win the point and does. 30 love. Probably, yeah. Probably, yeah. No, because Cam doesn't go do tennis. It doesn't go to tournaments, does he? At least to the best of my knowledge, he doesn't. No, I'm not talking about Cam. You can very quickly go through. Here's an example. The rebranding of the WTA was just a crazy waste of money a year ago. But if you see the people that praise that rebrand, very quickly you can see that their objective is to have wonderful relations. Okay, there's someone in the crowd is being told to shut the F up. Yeah, but that will get you blacklisted. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And of course, no media will be asking those kind of questions. Yep, and other sports too. And I think it's very short-termism as well, which is a pity. 40 love here for Coco Gauff. 3 game points to get us to 4-3. Yes, exactly, Ozan. Exactly. I saw that Larry was absent from Indian Wells this year, although I think his son was there for the final, at least, next to Andre Agassi. But as I saw someone on Twitter post, they called it an IDF fundraiser, which I thought was quite amusing. And yeah, not far away. 40 love, 3 game points. She's on top of this rally, Coco. Oh, that was cool from Coco on the forehand there. She does hold for 4-3. Keeping Sabalenka honest. So we just keep plugging along. I mean, they'll come for us again. They've already come for us in terms of getting our old Twitter account suspended. They'll try and come for us, and they may well be successful eventually, and Talking Tennis will no longer exist. But that'll be a sad day. But they may well do it, and they'll do it with the help of 1 or 2 other media outlets that obviously want us gone. And those media outlets are huge, by the way. And you may even be watching them right now. Maybe. I don't know. It depends on which country. Okay. That is for another day. For now, we'll hone in on Sabalenka upper break here. Don't know if Sabalenka's anti-Arsenal fans. Yeah. No explanation. I tried to get to the bottom of who it was. I know when it was. Of course, I know the exact moment. I don't know why. I've asked the question 100 times. I got a little clue recently when speaking to somebody who works at X. That's all I can say. Okay, 4-3. Sabalenka serves. 2 holds as she hones in on the Miami title. Of course, she's trying to retain it. The regarding Twitter, I don't know specifically who, but I do know it's one of a small group. Okay, 15 love. 2 hours and 4 minutes on the clock. I don't want to overcook my pasta. Wow, got 160 odd people watching on YouTube right now. Wonderful to have so many of you on board. Yeah, don't worry, Remissus. Don't worry. We'll talk about it some other time anyway. Seconds. Oh no, just a misplaced ball toss there for Sabalenka. Serves into the backhand of Coco. Now on the backhand of Sabalenka, it's a big backhand, and Coco can't deal with it. 30 love. Stay with us, by the way. At the end of this match, whatever happens, however it pans out, I will be doing a full post-match debrief. So that'll delay my spaghetti carbonara a little bit more as well. So we go past the 2-hour mark for this encounter. Sabalenka, as she has been for most of the match, very comfortable on serve. But there was that one moment, wasn't there, at 4-5. Couple of unforced errors and Coco breaks. And that was that for the second set, which is why we're here where we are. Yeah, indeed, Ghosty, indeed. Backhand here into the backhand of Coco, which goes into the net, 5-3. What's the reaction for that hold there from fans of Sabalenka? What is the reaction of Coco Gauff fans? Is this going to be the final game of the match? Okay, Coco Gauff serving to stay in the match. How's your heartbeat? I've got to check on my pasta because I don't want to overcook this. Okay. Gonna turn this bloody thing off. All right, people, I'm back. 15 all. Sorry about that. Just had to go check on the pasta. Yeah. Okay, 30-15 here for Coco Gauff. She is at least keeping Sabalenka honest for now. Is it as simple as just going, look, Gauff gave away 7 points on her serve and Aryna didn't give any away? Yeah, maybe. If we say Sabalenka double faults twice and Gauff double faults 3 times in this match, we have probably got a very different situation right now. And we may have Gauff lifting the title. That's how it is in tennis, right? 30 all. All, ladies and gentlemen. Forehand return, backhand from Gauff. Slice there, which is a really good slice from Sabalenka. Can she pass? No, she can't. Can she pass this time? Yes, she can. We have indeed got championship point. Thank you for that donation, by the way, Remus. It's wonderful. Much appreciated. Kendall Taylor, it's okay, buddy. And by the way, we're proud. God bless. Indeed. Thank you very much, Kendall. Okay. Thank you for your donation, Remus. It's much appreciated. I don't know which currency that is, but nevertheless, we have got a match point. Let's hone in on this for now. Okay. Gauff here serving 30-40. 2 hours and 9 minutes on the clock. Championship point for Aryna Sabalenka to retain her Miami title. She chats to herself momentarily. Gauff serves. Of course, it's a fault. Is it going to be a double fault? Please don't double fault on championship point, Coco. Don't do that, at least. Okay, Gauff serves. Where are you going with this? Into the backhand of Sabalenka. Now it's on the backhand of Gauff, which is going to miss. Sabalenka, arms outstretched. She retains her Miami Open title with both relief and pleasure in equal measure. I'm a poet and I don't even know it. I think Coco Gauff has just said good match. And it was a good match. Not a great one, but a good one. Kendall is proud of Coco Gauff no matter, and that's justifiable. Sabalenka wins in 3 sets. 6-2, 4-6, 6-3 to retain her title in Miami. Yuki's going back to sleep. 2 hours and 10 minutes roughly for that one. And Sabalenka was the better player, right? Yes, it went 3 sets. Yes, there was a lot of doubt at various points in terms of the outcome of this match. But Sabalenka broke Gauff's serve. That's me just cooling the frying pan down. Sorry about that. mid sentence. Yes, there was some doubt, but Sabalenka, that first set, she broke twice, and she was all over that Coco Gauff serve like a rash. And was just dominating. It was largely comfortable on her own serve, except one particular moment at the end of the second set. 4-5. And by the way, she threatened the Coco Gauff serve throughout the second set as well. Gauff did hit probably 1 or 2 more double faults than she wanted to, but ultimately, I don't think that was her undoing today. Sabalenka just won the 2 most crucial dynamics. She served marginally better than Coco, and she returned better than Coco. The forehand as well from Sabalenka was excellent. Coco's broke down from time to time. But listen, this is a huge tick for Coco, I think, in terms of her tournament. Compared to where she was at post-Australian Open and Middle East section when she loses that early match to Cocciaretto, you know, Coco has now gone on leaps and bounds since then with winning that match in tight circumstances over Elise Mertens and then having that epic semi-final with Svitolina. Then she comes into the Sunshine Double and she gets to the final here. And I think it's been a great run from Coco. And she can go into the clay court season full of confidence, knowing that the margins between her and Aryna Sabalenka are not that far off. You know, she can then think about how she is on the clay compared to how Aryna and Elena are on the clay and think, you know what? I go up 1 or 2 points, just like Iga will probably feel like that. And maybe I've got a chance to retain my French Open crown. And her run here, by the way, the 3-set epics over Cocciaretto, Parks, Castella and Bencic, where her performance against Bencic, but also against Karolina Muchova, was the Coco Gauff of old. Coco Gauff of old. It's like I'm talking about a seasoned experience. Well, she is seasoned, isn't she? Even though she's only 22, 2 Grand Slams and been on the tour for 5 or so years since that breakout win against Venus Williams in 2019 at Wimbledon. Grass might be another issue for her, but that's a separate day. Clay court season, a lot to look forward to for Coco. Coming back to Aryna Sabalenka, I mean, her year of 2026, just similar to the last 2 or 3 years. Unbelievable. She wins Brisbane. She's up a break in the 3rd set of the Australian Open final, but doesn't win that title. She then wins Indian Wells, has to dig so deep in that final. She dug so deep, incredibly so, but wins the title. And she's done the Sunshine Double. Match stats, by the way. Most important stat, of course, of all is that she won this in 3 sets in 2 hours and 9 minutes. She hit 3 aces. Coco hit 5. But the points played on serve will tell you just how much pressure she was applying to the Coco Gauff serve. 98 points on the Coco serve compared to 78 points on Aryna's serve. Maybe the decision that Coco had to serve first didn't work out. 94 points won, 82. I actually felt like the gap might even be bigger than that, but still 12 points. And look at that. Aryna Sabalenka generated 11 break points. She converted 4 of them. Coco converted just 1 break point, by the way, in the match. And she broke on that occasion. That was to win the second set. Decisive moment. And that pushed us to a third set. First serve points won. Coco winning just 45% of her second serve. That will disappoint the American and ultimately cost her potentially the match. All right. Big thanks for joining me today. I do want to come to the live chat actually very quickly and also share maybe with you some tweets on the screen. We might get a few comments here. Let's see if I can get some tweets for you on the screen before we conclude. Yeah, just seeing the confirmation that Anisimova has pulled out of Charleston and a separate news update. Yeah, I want to come to your thoughts in the chat as well. Sunshine double indeed. We're going to get a camera signing here from Aryna Sabalenka. It's a nice smiley face. But it doesn't matter, does it? I mean, it's just an example of how dominant she was. Is that the 5th person to achieve the Sunshine double, is it? Who are the other 4 on the women's side, at least? Are we going to hear from Aryna? I think we might. No, she's going to have a sit down. Just going to turn the TV down because there's some music playing. Who are the other 4 people to achieve the Sunshine double? I would be intrigued to know. But yeah, it's just an incredible vein of form that Sabalenka is in. That was her first set drop, by the way, in the tournament, I think, wasn't it? Just like the, I think just like the Indian Wells as well. I think the only person to take a set off her was fellow finalist Elena Rybakina. But she won't care. Roland Garros official account there. There's a dog licking the fiance's face. Fortunately, Yuki is not licking my face just yet, but I will be enjoying my spaghetti carbonara very, very soon. Ozan, I've already made my prediction. It's in our preview, which is straight sets for Yannick. Okay, so is it Steffi Graf, Kim Clijsters, Victoria Azarenka, and Iga Swiatek? Steffi Graf did it twice, 94 and 96. Kim Clijsters 05, Victoria Azarenka in 2016, Iga Swiatek in 2022. Do join us for the men's final tomorrow, by the way, and also join us for our weekly shows of ATP Weekly and WTA Weekly. I think they'll be coming up tomorrow and on Monday. I think WTA Weekly is penned in for Monday with Nick and an as yet unnamed guest. Is that unnamed because we don't know who it is, or is it just unnamed because I want to tease you? It's unnamed because I don't know who it is yet. Where is Sabalenka at in the pantheon of tennis greats, by the way? She probably needs a non-hard court slam, doesn't she? To really start getting into this. Because I think actually the status that Iga Swiatek has already achieved has put her in the pantheon of greats within the game. But I think Sabalenka probably needs another slam and ideally away from hard courts to, enter that conversation. You start winning 6, 7, 8, 9 slams and you do it across, all the surfaces which Iga has. But at the moment, I think Aryna needs a French Open or Wimbledon. But what a 15 months she has had. Just think about how close she was to probably winning more titles. I mean, Sabalenka across the last 15 months, it's wild. The number of titles she's had and near misses as well. I'm just trying to get her 2025. If we go back to the beginning of 2025, Where are we at? We're at Australian Open. So does she win Brisbane in 2025? Yeah, she wins Brisbane. Okay. She's in the final of Australia and 1 point or 2 points either way, and she wins that. But anyway, wins Brisbane. Middle East, well, we know we can forget that for Aryna. We always know that. She's then up a set on Mira Andreeva, but lets that final slip by in Indian Wells. She then wins Miami. She then in the final of Stuttgart, but loses. She then wins Madrid. Rome, no, not so good. Quarterfinals there. She then, again, that French Open final, she's in the final, but she loses to Coco Gauff in a really painful loss. She's then, Berlin loses in the semis to Marketa Vondrousova. Wimbledon, that semi-final with Anisimova. Huge regrets there because of how close that third set was. She's actually down a break, isn't she? Anisimova serves for it because she gets the break back, I think. Or maybe Anisimova doesn't serve for it, but Anisimova, wasn't she serving for it? I forget now. But anyway, whatever. It was super, super, super tight. Then we fast forward to the US Open. She wins that. That's her fourth title of the year. WTA finals could have gone either way against Rybakina in the final, but she loses that. She then wins Brisbane again this year, 5 titles. Up a break in the deciding set with Rybakina, isn't she, in the Australian Open final this year? Lets that one slip through her fingers. She then wins the Sunshine Double, which means 7 titles in the last 15 months. 7 titles, but only 1 Grand Slam, the US Open, right? Wow. Aryna Sabalenka take a bow. Well, she's going to take a bow in a moment. We're going to hear James Blake here, by the way, chatting away. He's coming for some stick this year, but he comes in for some stick every year. I don't know if it's always justified. But yeah, Sunshine Double. He acknowledges that. And she does this, does Aryna. She is doing incredible things. And she is keeping it up somehow. As he congratulates Aryna Sabalenka. But honestly, so many positives for Coco Gauff to take from this tournament for me. Okay, James Blake paying homage to some people that I don't know. Sorry. Oh, wow. Well, look at this for an attendance. 16,830 people, by the way. That is still 10,000 short of the subscriber count we have on Talking Tennis, by the way. So, yeah. We could basically sell out the Miami Open final twice. Yeah. 17,000, yeah. Almost. So more words here from James Blake. Yeah, her year-long record, by the way, is 23-1 for the year, Sabalenka. And that's 12 wins in a row as well across their Sunshine Double. And, of course, retains her title in Miami. Don't mess with the Tigress, says this tweet. I might just stay live for Sabalenka's victory speech. We'll see. Okay, here comes Coco Gauff to accept her runners-up spot. Of course, this is now head-to-head, 7-6 in Aryna's favor. What an epic head-to-head this is turning into. But Coco Gauff can point to the fact that she's won the 2 biggest ones. The two slam finals have gone her way. So, yeah, bittersweet symphony coming out here for this speech, which is probably just about right, isn't it? Bittersweet. Here we go, Coco.
It's pretty cool to be on the stage. But,
yeah, she lives in Florida, doesn't she?
We're excited to thank God. I think it's been a tough couple of weeks for me, but always pulling me through it. I'm grateful to be here in the finals, so all the credit goes to him. Next, Aryna, congratulations.
Congratulates Aryna on the title. 11 WTA 1000 titles now. And who's the favorite for the French Open? I'm going eager by thinnest of thin margins. But there's a case for all of the big four for me to say that they're the favorite. She's had a lot of joy this week, says Coco. Fair enough.
Yeah, I was like getting a little emotional on the bench, but not like sad tears. I think I'm just having a week of or 2 weeks of gratitude, and you guys brought the energy for me every week, every day this week. And
I understand the temptation for journalists to post the crowd and the record sellout and all the rest of it, but that is PR. That is what people can rightly point out as going, look, that's PR. That's for the tournament. That's not for journalism. But maybe there's an argument to say, look, the people deserve to know, and we're here to spread the news. I don't know. But certainly tournaments will like it if you put that out to your 200,000 followers for sure. She really smashed and grabbed that second set, though, didn't she? I mean, well done for hanging in there. Deserved, not getting into the way, but it was a moment. I said going into that third set, Sabalenka just had to maintain the belief and awareness that she'd been the better player for most of the match, and she did. Broke twice more, didn't she, in the deciding set?
Obviously, Aryna and I put on a strong show, but I think just pulling up and driving, I saw you came from Orlando, from Tampa. I appreciate you supporting the South Florida girl. Shout out to her. And yeah, thank you guys so much. And I hope I didn't forget anything, but see you next year.
See you next year. Hopefully she doesn't forget anything. Who's winning the French Open? Here comes Aryna Sabalenka to accept the Miami Open trophy for the second year in a row. I think she's got Bittersweet Symphony as well. I think we should have had Song 2 by Blur, not just because it's the second title she's won in Miami, but I think it would be a worthy song. She's always entertaining in her speeches, win or lose. So let's... She doesn't know what to say. She's always giving speeches.
You also push me so hard to be a better player, and I love it. I like how wherever you're incredible. I'm happy to see you back in the finals and really hope to play many more. So congrats to you and your team. Do an incredible job. Of course, thank you to everyone who made this tournament possible. Thank you, James, to take care of us the best way possible. Always enjoy playing here, just being here also. So thank you so much. Thank you, guys. And I don't know where you are, that lady that yelled that called for the out. I should have been that rude, but come on, you cannot do that, you know? So let's agree that we both so sorry. And thank you guys for
I think there was someone in the crowd called out, and they shouldn't have done. And yeah, it's fair enough for Aryna to point that out.
Thank you so much. And of course, I want to say thank you to my team. Wow, you guys are growing. It's like, we'll need to ask the tournament for a bigger ball.
And there's one or two people absent from her box. I'm thinking of Shane Leonage, for example, her data guy.
For making me a better player and better person. And thanks for, I don't know for what, just for everything. You guys are the best, that's for sure. And thank you to my fiance. Sounds good, you know?
There we go. She thanks her fiance as well and takes the deserved plaudits. Listen, big thanks for joining today. Make sure you join us for the men's final tomorrow. We'll have an array of commentators for that. We'll look forward to that. Keep an eye on the weather, by the way, in Miami. So that might be delayed as I see Sabalenka lift the trophy for the second year in a row and just keeps on going. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And that's the word I'm going to leave you with. Thanks for joining. And you know the If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.